just Kendrick, I would make love to him. There's nothing he can do about it. Just Kendrick Lamar, I would make love to him.
Andrew Schulz just responded to being called out by Kendrick Lamar in the most cringe way possible by making a bunch of unfunny jokes that his yes men were laughing at way too hard about Kendrick. For anyone out of the loop about why one of the biggest rappers in the world ended up calling out a comedian and podcast host, this actually goes back to September when podcast duo Shits and Gigs, who had a largely black female audience, got exposed for talking negatively about black women, like saying if a woman was white, she was winning.
So she used to watch on a TV show who was obviously black. She was like, oh, I wish I was her. And I'm thinking, what?
Jesus Christ.
She kept on saying, oh, I wish I was black, I wish I was black. I'm thinking,
Jesus Christ.
what?
For starters, if he was black, you wouldn't be getting any black men, so I'm just saying.
That's such a bold statement to say.
I wish I was black.
I wish I was black. Like, yes.
What's going on in your life?
What? Do you know what I mean?
You're white, fam.
You're white.
You're
Just
winning. To interrupt, what is it with... It sounds like I'm hating on black girls. I'm actually not. Even though I'll come back to it, I used to have such a stigma against black girls.
Or them being on the Poor Minds podcast in Atlanta, hosted by two black women, telling them there are no pretty or bad women in Atlanta. You know, a city that's made up almost of 50% black people.
What is y'all's type, though?
Bad is the type.
Facts.
So what makes a girl bad?
It varies though. It matters how you own it. It can be a skinny girl who wears the fuck out of being a skinny girl. And then you've got a thick thing who just owns the shit out of being a thick thing. It's bad is bad is bad.
That's a PR answer.
A PR answer.
I'm glad they didn't let him get away with saying a bunch of nothing after he had the audacity to say that there were no baddies in Atlanta of all places.
They're all beautiful. If you have...
I'm not saying everyone's beautiful. I just told you Atlanta's clapped. I never said everyone's beautiful. I just said I'm not seeing any baddies here.
You know what's funny about Atlanta, though? Atlanta has a lot of transplants. So a lot of the people that live here, like, you rarely run into people when you're out and stuff that are from Atlanta. Like, the real Atlanta people, they be in the trenches, like, off of Cascade.
So in real time, Drea basically shot down his statement, clarifying that a lot of people walking around Atlanta aren't from Atlanta. So when Shits and Gigs came to Atlanta and saw all these black faces and said there were no baddies, they weren't talking about all the people of Atlanta. They were talking about the black women in Atlanta. But the straw that broke the camel's back was Shits and Gigs appearing on Andrew Schultz's Flagrant podcast, where Andrew Schultz had a lot to say about black women and none of it positive.
I'm here for it, bro.
I'm here for the multicultural.
Really?
Yeah,
Black
man.
girlfriend effect.
Yeah.
Came
You're
in,
into that.
Yeah,
And Meghan Markle
she came in.
fights
What's the black girlfriend? They just come in and start fighting?
Nah, bro. You guys don't know about the black girlfriend effect. She just...
Wait, what is the black girlfriend effect? This
Oh, you don't know
You
about
just
this?
glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got a buzz cut, like clean shape up. Glows up, bro.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends,
They grow a
step,
beard
they step their
because
dick
there's
up.
more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of.
That's hilarious.
I think the black girlfriend.
Which led to Shits and Gigs being called out by their audience, again, which was mostly black women, for sitting there laughing at Andrew Schultz's jokes about black women without stopping him, defending them, or interjecting in any way.
But then to hear, them sit there and laugh while this white man disparaged black women, calling us ghetto and all these kind of things, they're just sitting there laughing. It really made me sad. It made me so sad that black women are always the butt of the joke when we don't deserve that. We are people.
Honestly, when it comes down to it, I just think that James and Fahad don't like or rate black women. That's just the bottom line of it. Because we can do these think pieces, we can evaluate their body language, this and this, but I just don't think they like black women.
Pretend to be disappointed, don't really fancy that. The biggest takeaway for me is the fact that black women need to start picking and choosing themselves. I've been saying this all the time, like men are men, okay? And there's some really great men out there and there's some really trash ones. Don't get too distracted with that. But don't. I do think that this is one of many wake-up calls to double down on loving ourselves, not expecting other people to do it for us.
Like I said in my previous video, no matter how much Andrew Schulz is known for pushing the boundaries of acceptable and appropriate with jokes on his podcast, as black men, James and Fuhad, with the largely black female audience, shouldn't have just sat there laughing at those jokes, insulting their audience, without pushing back, disagreeing, or standing up for black women in some type of way. Or at least the bare minimum they could have done is just not laugh at the jokes, which weren't funny in the first place. After James and Fuhad started receiving backlash, they made a half-hearted apology, deflecting most of the blame directly at Andrew Schulz.
We just wanted to address something that's happening at the minute. This past weekend, there's been a couple of clips going around from when we did a session on the Flagrant podcast while we were on our US tour. And there were a few jokes made that were incredibly inappropriate. One specifically pertaining to black women. In the clip, Andrew was making a joke. I'm not even going to get into specifics. Making a frankly racist joke. And we were laughing at it. Obviously, there's just literally no excuse. There is no excuse.
Agreed.
And fight or flight is a real thing. Like it is, fight or flight is a real thing, and it's so not easy to say, but when you're in those situations, you look at it through a lens of like, bro, if it was me, I promise you I'll stand up, I'll kick them cameras down, I would smack homeboy in the face, I would say this, I'll do that. But when you're in there, you're in shock.
And all you want to do is move on.
Bro, move on is the fucking word, bro. All you want to do is fucking move on. Just move on to the next thing. Just move on to the next thing.
There's
and
so
like
many
we had to
times.
say a few times, bro, just move on.
Just move
on.
So many different topics. We were like, move on, but we just wanted to
get out of that situation.
Literally get out of that situation, keep the ball rolling. And we thought it was going to be more of like a bros chat, but it ended up being something that's
ended up being something that's like really, really hurt people that look to us for support and look to us to feel protected. And protected is the main thing. It is our duty to protect you guys.
Facts.
And it is definitely not cool to be in that situation. And again, not be the ones to stand up and kick the cameras down. And we fucked it on that occasion.
We did.
It's not going to happen again.
Which led to Andrew reacting to their apology and further exposing them.
They had shit that they asked to take out the episode. You know what they didn't ask to take out?
Your racist slander.
They had shit. Their producer, whatever, was like, hey, we really think that's inappropriate. We'd like to take that out. But with that joke about the black women, nothing really seemed, the fight or flight wasn't really there.
Now that we're all caught up on the lore, Kendrick Lamar made waves a couple weeks ago when he dropped his surprise album, G&X, where the very first song on the album, my favorite, he rapped, "Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman, that's law." Which of course led to a bunch of people online connecting dots back to Andrew Schulz. And academics actually shared Andrew's initial reaction to being called out by Kendrick.
By the way, I hit Andrew Schulz about that. I think his reaction was, he's like, yo, is this guy too woke to understand a joke?
But you know what's interesting about that Kendrick line? He wasn't really addressing Andrew at all. In my opinion, he was calling out the two black men that sat there on the couch laughing at jokes about black women without defending them. And going back to my own video about shits and gigs, I pretty much had the same energy. I really focused on their response as black men or lack thereof more than I did calling out Andrew Schulz for the jokes. I definitely did say I thought the jokes were corny or poor taste, but it was more about why they sat there and laughed and allowed it to happen in the first place and then acted all affected by it later. But you know what old folks say, a kick dog gonna holler. So Andrew Schulz took to his podcast and responded to Kendrick.
Listen, no, guys, we gotta take this serious. Listen, rappers are telling comedians we need to be more respectful to women, so we gotta sit back and reflect. Do you know what I mean?
They're the most pious group.
Listen, nobody has respected women more. Through art.
Yes.
Than rappers, okay?
Absolutely.
So I completely understand how a rapper could look at a comedian telling a joke and be like, yo, y'all need to switch that shit up.
Yeah.
How dare y'all keep saying your wives are annoying?
You can definitely say that rap hasn't been respectful toward women, but I don't really think that applies to Kendrick Lamar. He's never been super misogynistic in his raps or said anything crazy out of pocket against women or black women. And I feel like Andrew Schulz is kind of moving the goalposts, making this about rap and rappers not being able to address address somebody else talking negatively about women. This is really about Kendrick Lamar calling him and black dudes out for sitting there laughing at jokes that he was making about black women.
Be more like us and, just ain't nothing but hoes and tricks. My bitch with a stick, what?
Did you just think of that?
That's a real lyric.
Oh, wow.
That's a real lyric, but is that a Kendrick Lamar lyric? This is what I'm saying when I say he's moving the goalposts. Now you're just talking about rap as a whole, as if that applies to what's going on right now in the conversation.
Right now, the guy on top, Kung Fu Kenny, he is the guy on top.
He is the guy
He
on
is
top.
making sure that comedians. All right, let's see the exact line, okay? Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman. That's law. Now, technically speaking, if we're going off of grammatic English,
Okay.
he is saying, I can talk about black women, and that is law.
Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman.
So he's basically saying all white comedians
are only allowed to
talk about black women
exclusively.
Now I understand why he's doing a comedy with the South Park creators.
that makes
Because he appreciates white comedians that make fun of black people.
There you go.
That's a point for Andrew that South Park is a show that has offended everybody and made jokes about everybody, and Kendrick working with them. You can call that hypocrisy if you want. I still don't think that really applies to Kendrick specifically addressing this one situation, specifically him making inappropriate jokes about black women in front of two black men without them saying anything.
Like, first of all, Kendrick's people and the gang affiliate, everybody, his security, they will kill me. They will destroy me. They'll find me in the street. They'll fucking cut me up. They'll shoot me. They'll do whatever. I'm not a tough guy. Y'all do. But just Kendrick, I would make love to him. There's nothing he can do about it. Just Kendrick Lamar, I would make love to him, and the only thing that he could do is decide if it's consensual or not. That's the only...
Even if you like Andrew Schultz, there's nobody on this earth that's going to tell me that what he said was that funny that has this dude Akash, however you say his name, busting out, falling over, laughing. Like, these dudes have to be the biggest yes men, hype men ever.
He could do is decide if it's consensual or not. That's the only thing he could do. If it's me and Kendrick, if it's me and Kendrick, this is about physics. It's about physics. I don't even know if I'll get hard. But if we're in a cell, if we're in a cell and we're bored and we done tattooing each other, whatever you do in the cell, and we ran out of board games and we did all the other things, we cleaned everything, and I'm like, man, I might as well fuck you. There's nothing he could physically do to stop that besides put his legs in the air and choose a position. I don't think he could stop most people on the planet from having sex with him.
So let me get this right. Kendrick Lamar called him out for making jokes about black women, and his response was to make rape jokes about Kendrick Lamar? Come on, man.
Know with Kendrick that he's talking a lot of shit, but if it came down to it, I could put him on my lap. I could feed him a bottle. I could put him on my lap. I could feed him a bottle and make love to him if I wanted to, and there's nothing he could do about it.
So make all of that what you will. Andrew definitely responded to being called out by Kendrick. He fired off some shots of his own, had jokes. They called out some hypocrisy in Kendrick's catalog, whether that's him working with Kodak Black or Chris Brown. Based on their history of past abuse, he did a lot of finger pointing at Kendrick without him actually addressing him making those insensitive or inappropriate jokes about black women in the first place. I think rap is an easy target to point at whenever somebody tries to come up with a moral stance, but I don't think Kendrick was wrong at all for his lyric. For people in the black community letting these type of jokes fly when their audience is predominantly black women. I know comedy is subjective and everybody finds something different funny. I just personally don't find this dude funny at all. I think he's corny. I think he has a bunch of yes men around him, hyping him up, making him think he's funnier than he is. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people get it. It's just not my brand of humor. But thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you join the Discord to continue the conversation over there. Check out the next video, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.